Be me, 25, walking home from class, dental school, see homeless woman, no older than I was, maybe 23 at most, don't want to walk around her rudely, say hello. She seemed scared. She was really dirty, but had these eyes like humble pools of water. Chat for a little bit. I grew up hearing that homeless people really appreciate human contact, plus I didn't have any money to give her. Find out that she was kicked out by her parents when she was 20, been roaming around the streets ever since. Almost ashamed to be thinking that she was a 7 out of 10. She didn't even smell as bad as most homeless I've encountered. Offer her a shower and a meal at my house. Still very shy, but she had that humble, thankful look in her eyes. Get to my appointment. Neighbors giving us dirty looks. Get inside, show her to the bathroom. Find some lady shower stuff that my ex at the time had left. She comes out after about 35 minutes wrapped in a towel, pile of filthy towels and washcloths. No joke, 8 out of 10 without the dirt. Give her some of my ex's clothes. Nothing fancy, but she looked like a proper lady. Made a pasta/red bean salad while she was washing up. We're eating. She bursts into tears. No one has ever been this nice to me. I can't repay you, but if you want, you're a lovely woman, but it wouldn't be right. Look of relief on her face tells me I did the right thing. We finish eating in silence and she asks if I can take her back to her spot. I walk her home with a few extra clothes, soaps, blankets, and the leftovers. Get to the spot and she tears up and gives me a kiss on the cheek. Thanks me for everything and she says that she'll never forget me. Walk by her spot most days after class. Sometimes I'll bring some dinner for us. Sometimes I bring lunch before class. We become pretty good friends. It's not even that weird that it started out as an act of charity. Do this almost every day for about 2 months. In that time, she got a job at Panera and supplied some of the meals for us. She takes showers usually once a week at a nearby shelter by this time. Pretty much back on her feet, but still homeless. I usually get a kiss on the cheek like that first night when I leave. Invite her back again one night, saying that a change of setting could be nice. Get to the house and she nearly pounces on me, making out wildly, not even thinking about what she could have. I don't even care at this point. We effed wildly for a few hours. She legit put all of her gratitude into it. Don't see her for about a week after. Got checked by doctor. Didn't catch anything. Keep doing the lunches/dinners. Occasional F back at my place. She has a pretty good bit of money saved up from work/donations. We decide to make it official. I was skeptical when she moved in. I had been robbed by past girlfriends and didn't know what to expect. Have grade 6 first night. Wake up in this really nice fog. Don't want to get out of bed. She isn't there. Oh frick, I'm a dumbass.jpg. Smell fire of some kind. Run to the kitchen. She looks horrified that she burnt the eggs. Relieved AF. I reassured her that it's fine. Every day after that, we would leave the apartment together. I'd walk her to work and walk around until lunch, then class. Pick her up after work. It was a really nice little schedule we had. We would both be so tired from work and class that we'd just crash back at our place. This went on for a few months. It was heaven. She was extremely loyal too, like how a rescue dog would do anything for its owner. Not the best analogy, but work with me. She picked up some great cooking skills at that Panera job. Her sandwiches had everything, plus that love and gratitude. After a few months, I graduated with a DDS and joined a really nice practice. She kept working at Panera, bringing in whatever she could, but I was making some serious money now. At this point, I'm 27, she's 26. Happiest people on earth. In that year of dating, I never found her sleeping around, stealing. She was off all her drugs. Decided I found the right girl. 5 years later, Grace and I are happily married and expecting our first son in a few months. Some nights, she still cries at how kind I was that first night, but I was the only one who was lucky enough to have polished that diamond I found in the gutter. Really freaking love eating my girl out. Love hearing the sound she makes. One time realized she makes a different kind of moan depending on what I'm doing. The sounds she makes vary in pitch. I can make her make specific noises at will. Try to play the Darth Vader theme on her. Almost got it. She snaps out of euphoria the second she figures out what I'm trying to do. Mood killed instantly. She doesn't trust me down there again. That feeling when I'm not allowed to eat coochie anymore. Anon asked the great philosopher, are small breasts better or large? The great philosopher replied, suppose you had $100 in bills and $100 in coins. Which would weigh more? The coins, Anon said. Ah, the great philosopher responded, but which would have the greater value? Anon was enlightened. Tarded brother, be young. Have a brother 1 year older. Mother gets daily visitors. Each time she gets a visitor, she locks us in a room, looks away and says, look out for your tarded brother. Each one of us thinks the other is tarded. Mother dies. Still don't know which one of us was the tarded one. Be in high school, 2012-ish, straight. Best friend comes over to my house. Start gaming like usual on the Xbox 360. Later in the night, he confesses he has feelings for me. I was understanding, but told him I don't have that same attraction to him. It's okay, Anon. I get crushes on a lot of boys. I'll let it pass. Continue gaming with him like we always do. He gets over his crush on me within a few weeks, finds a new man who's actually gay. You thought I was gonna do some gay-ass shit, didn't ya? This is a green text of violence, greed, lies, love, sex, conspiracy, death, and chocolate. This is a story of the time I sold chocolate in high school. Be me. Grew up in a low-income family. Beginning of freshman year. School is organizing a trip to Europe next year. $3,200. I want to go. School offers fundraiser by selling chocolate bars from local candy business. No one but me fundraises because all the other kids are rich fags who have the trip immediately paid for. How it works is that you buy chocolate at 50 cents each. The money you spend is transferred to your trip account. Then you sell it for $1 to make it back. So it's $1 chocolate and you make 50 cents for each one sold. There were 5 flavors: milk, peanut butter, caramel, pretzel. Time to get to work. Buy a box of chocolate and start selling it around the school. It goes well. Sell the entire box within 3 days. Then another and another. By the end of the month, I'd sold 10 boxes. Then, fortune strikes. School shuts down vending machines for health wellness reasons. No one can buy snacks from anyone from school. Everyone turns to me for their snacks. Profits through the roof. Hell yes.png. Raise $1,000 in 3 months. At this rate, I'll have the trip funded in no time. I should mention how I get the boxes. At first, the teacher who was organizing the trip kept a whole bunch of boxes in his office, and I would pick up what I needed. But eventually I grew out of this method, and after I got my license, I would take my dad's truck and buy chocolate by bulk and store them in my cold basement. I would also keep the chocolate I would be selling in a mini fridge to be cold when I start selling. A true businessman. So I keep selling. October, and I'm with the 8 out of 10 selling her some chocolate. We'll call her Abby. Hey Anon, are you going to homecoming? No, I don't think so. Why? Oh, no reason. Pick up signals. Are you going? I don't know. I mean, I have a group, but no one is going with me, you know? Yeah. Do you want to go to homecoming with me? She smiles. Of course. Chocolate just gave me a date. Go to homecoming. Enjoy myself, and so does Abby. We start dating. Chocolate gave me a girlfriend. After a month of dating, I convince Abby to sell chocolate on my behalf as well. Now I have my friend, Abby, and Hugh employed to my chocolate business. So we continued selling chocolate for the rest of the year. At the end of the year, I made $16,340. Wow.wav. So to any normal person, this should have been raising alarms. However, I got lucky to have the teacher who didn't care or understand how much money I was making. By all definitions, I was breaking school policy. Maybe he felt pity for me and my family's financial situation. I'll never know. On the day before the trip, he emailed me that he needed to give me the money in person before the trip instead of during, since you can only bring a certain amount of cash overseas. I emailed him back and I would meet him at a restaurant. I texted Hugh to pick me up and drive me to the meeting place and then drop me off. I'd need protection when carrying more money than I've ever seen in my life. It went down like in movies. We walk in and my teacher was sitting at a table. He got up, carrying a manila folder and walked past us, handing me the folder when walking past out the door. We walked out of the restaurant and he drove me back to my house. I opened the folder, $100 bills. Hugh got to my house and I tipped him $100. Thanks, boss. Am I a mob boss now? The next day, I bring $400 in cash for the trip and I go to Europe. It was a fun trip, went to multiple countries, and I'm glad that this was my first vacation, although I wish my family could have afforded it. I came back with gifts for my family and a beautiful amber necklace from Krakow for Abby. Overall, the summer was great. First day of junior year, I came back to school a free man. Not carrying a box of chocolate felt weird. I didn't know what to do with my life. I was walking next to Abby in the hallway. Maybe I'll join a club, or I walked past a poster on the wall. I stopped and looked at it. Japan trip. Next year. $4,000. Abby saw me looking at the poster on the wall. Oh no, don't tell me. Yep. She smiles. Time to get to work. So this trip was organized differently than the one before. It was a different group. A group of teachers who organized it had no sponsored fundraisers, and you had to make payments to the trip instead of the funds going to an account. I asked the teachers if I could do my own fundraiser. They agreed. I re-established my contact with the chocolate shop. The little Italian owner loved me and knew me by name. I asked if I could fundraise for my next trip. He said yes. I bought 30 boxes of chocolate and loaded them into my truck and started organizing. So I knew I had a good thing going here and that I could make huge money. But I needed to expand my market. I first go to people I know in other schools to see if they want to work for me. I get 3 guys from 3 different schools to work for me. Next, I expand the delivery system. I get Hugh to go and ship chocolate to my house every other day. I then finally turn my basement into my chocolate HQ. Boards filled with numbers and boxes sold and who has what amount of boxes. Chocolate boxes are placed out by flavor on fold-out tables, waiting to be sold. The guys would call me when they needed chocolate and I would have a box waiting for them behind my house in the morning. I paid everyone who worked for me by the amount of boxes they sold in 2 weeks. I continued to pay Hugh in peanut butter chocolate because cocaine pays. This goes on for months. I'm running a full-out chocolate business out of my house and I'm making tons of money. I have enough money that I start to pay for groceries and other stuff for my family. They are grateful and they turn a blind eye to my chocolate empire I'm growing. Soon, I sell over $10,000 in chocolate. Damn. I keep most of it as I'm not a big spender. Competition comes. The most popular girl in school starts selling chocolate for her trip to Japan. She's a 10 out of 10, the frick. She is taking serious business from me, leaving me with almost nothing. I think over my options. Light bulb. I do the math. It'll work out. I go up to Cutie Pie. She smiles. Want to buy some chocolate? Put on most Chad voice. No, but I want to offer you something. She looks at me puzzled. I want to fund your entire trip. She looks even more puzzled. What? I hand her a wad of cash. 4,000. She's beaming. Really? Only if you sell for me. She nods her head. Anything for the cash. She snatched the cash out of my hand. I now have the most popular girl in school working for me. Nice. Junior year ends and the grand total is $20,000. My investment in Cutie Pie worked. She's one of my biggest sellers. Over the summer, my employees and I become an actual friend group. We hang out, go camping, the works. Summer ends and we are ready for our last year selling together. We get a letter in the mail about new school policy. No eating in the halls or classrooms. No peanuts or nuts of any kind. Shit. We gather to decide what to do. We decide to go underground. We hide chocolate in our backpacks and sell in the shadows. The demand for snacks is greater than ever, and dealers for snacks start popping in. Most we pay off to stop selling. The good sellers we hire. I now have 15 employees working for me, racking in the money. Some dealers get caught selling and get detention. They never rat us out, or Hugh would end them. Fugitively or literally, I don't know. The year went by with one interruption. Cutie Pie was going to rat on us. Apparently there was a reward for the identity for a criminal chocolate dealer. She wanted to cash in. One of our dealers intercepted that. Hugh went to work. Next day she wasn't at school. I asked Hugh what he did. I didn't do anything, boss. She was in a car crash. He smiled. Cutie Pie was in hospital from a car T-boning her. Head trauma, doesn't remember anything at all. Turns out that Hugh bought a used car under a false identity and followed her till he had the perfect time to strike and ram into her. He doesn't have a scratch on him. I pay him with a box of peanut butter chocolate bars. Eventually they caught on to scheme, but it was too late. It was graduation time and the end of selling. I sold 101,381 chocolate bars in my high school year. That's $50,000. I kept about 30,000 for myself, went to Japan, and I loved every moment. Me and girlfriend go to business school together. I can pay off most of my school when I graduate. Hugh runs a gang selling illegal goods. My friends all in some way go into business field. I ran a chocolate syndicate as a mob boss. I was an employee, a lover, a boss, a friend. Chocolate changed my life for the better, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I'm open for questions if anyone wants to know anything about me or my old business.